All right. I guess this is just kind of a hot take week for me. I don't think my last video was too much of a hot take, and yet, let's see who I annoy with this one. So, before we get started, how about you hit that subscribe button so I can reach 1,000? Otherwise, here we go. Yep, you read that title right. I think the Xbox Game Pass isn't great for gaming. Now, I will start with this. I do like the Xbox. I have the Xbox 360. I have the Xbox One, day one launch, and I have the Xbox Series S, and it is probably my second favorite, console when talking, not to be insulting Nintendo, but mostly I play a little bit more immature games on it. This is where I do my mature gaming. And after I left the PS2, I went to the Xbox 360 and I haven't looked back. So I am an Xbox fan. If I'm not playing the Switch, I'm playing my Xbox One. So now, to explain my thesis that the Xbox Game Pass is not great for gaming, I want to take a little history lesson. And a lot of this I got from, historically, from the Xbox documentary that they released, and it's a great documentary. I'll put a link in the description below. I really think the first 5 episodes are great. The 6th episode is kind of just like selling new Xbox stuff. But I'm going to go off of what I learned from Microsoft's own material. And starting the way the Xbox team got it sold to Bill Gates was worried that Sony was going to try to put a computer in the living room with the PS2. So while Bill Gates did not like gaming as an idea for Microsoft, he thought it was a software company making hardware and gaming hardware. Kind of like he really had to be sold on it, and it was this idea that, hey, we are fighting for a computer in the living room. Everything is going to be, right in front of everyone's faces, and we really need to be there. And they sold him on this idea that the Xbox, the DirectX, yeah, that's right, because it's DirectX and then it's box, is Microsoft's way in, and they showed him a scaled down version of Windows, which he was pissed about. Apparently it was on Valentine's Day that he was pissed about, and he kept them from their dates, but he was impressed with how quickly it loaded up. And, there we got the Xbox. And then Xbox 360 comes out. Huge hit. They do the right thing when it breaks down and keeps everyone happy. I still think it's a great system. It's a little loud because it's old, but hey, I still play it. I play a lot more than my PS2, and the PS3 I have is broken, so the Xbox 360 has lived. Then came the launch of the Xbox One, and that really pissed off a lot of gamers. It was probably one of the worst keynotes that Microsoft has ever done. And you know what? I don't know the gentleman's name, and I'm doing this off of memory, the script. Well, he demonstrated the Xbox One, and it was always on, which pissed off a lot of gamers because being always on, the games had to check in, so they couldn't give the physical copy of the disc to their friend to use and sell and resell. Really backlash for that. Just the idea that, hey, we have an always on console, and it's always checking in on your games. Then there's also this idea that it was presented more as a media player. It really focused on live TV. And everyone's like, where's the games? You're a gaming system. What are you doing? So I believe that gentleman was let go, and Phil Spencer comes in. He listens to the gaming community. He removes the Kinect sensor, drops it $100, gets rid of the always on. Looks like a big win for the gaming community. Well, not really, because Phil Spencer has been playing the long game, and slowly but surely we have accepted all those ideas that they were trying to present with the original Xbox One. Now you're wondering, what does this have to do with Game Pass? I'm getting to it. I'm really getting to it. But transitioning to the Series X and S, and these came out during the dark times, and we saw a shortage of consoles, and this showed first that people were willing to pay. Second, since people couldn't go outside, we can go digital. And during this time, Xbox Game Pass really came alive. Well, at that time I bought it. I couldn't go get physical copies and have things mailed in. It was a great idea, great deal. And at this point, I'm going to say Game Pass right now is a great deal. At this moment, February, I think 7th I'm shooting this, 2023, Game Pass is a great deal. You get a wide range of games to download. It costs only $15.99. Easy access across all devices. Yeah, it's really good. It is really good right now. But what you're looking at is the first step in a 3-step process that many companies go through, especially with media. And the first step is please your audience. And we're right now in that step with the Xbox Game Pass. I don't know how I'll hammer home. Right now, great deal. Be prepared to get rid of it once it starts raising prices. And so they've been impressive, especially compared to their competition. Xbox has shown what it means to have digital copies of everything. Just recently, they started removing things from the Xbox 360 store. I can still log on to the store and buy digital games. That's unheard of, especially if you're looking at Nintendo. And then all the problems that the PS network has. As filming, it just recently went down, and a bunch of gamers could not play. So, kudos to Xbox. Doing a great job right now. But like I said, we're in step 1. Please the audience. And right now, the audience has showed that they're willing to pay for a subscription. They're willing to pay for all digital. Yes, we had the Xbox One S, but it wasn't popular because of the dark times. Many people have gotten the Series S. I have the Series S because that's what I could get. My friends' kids now want the Series S. They don't want all the physical games hanging about. So we're setting up for what Xbox really wants and what pretty much all media companies want. Next is to supply Game Pass. They need games. It's how you keep people interested. And so Microsoft, Xbox is buying up all these developers. And that's going to be step 2. Keeping your developers happy. And if you look at the developers they're trying to get, Blizzard is a shitstorm. It's all last year was all over the news about how bad of a company it was to work for. So it must be better to work for Microsoft, which is, as someone who grew up in the 90s, that is a very hard thing to say. Better to work for Microsoft. And they're taking up all these little companies just so they have a supply of games. I must put out another huge hot take. Everyone's wondering where the Xbox exclusives are. They don't care about exclusives. They don't care. No matter what, if they get these companies, they do not care about exclusives. They want you to buy the Game Pass because that is the model we're in. We're in the subscription model. So they'll, right now, please us because, again, great deal. Then they're going to please the developers. The final step is they're in it for themselves. They're going to please themselves. And that's where the danger comes in. With all these people going into Game Pass and getting all these digital versions, by the time you're going to be locked into the Microsoft ecosystem. And yes, there is a Microsoft ecosystem. I know, tech people like me, gaming people like me talk about, Android and Apple, but there is an ecosystem of Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. And the difference between Xbox and the other two is it's part of Microsoft. It can give you the access to the computers. It can give you access to phones. Microsoft is everywhere. So once you're locked in, you're locked in. And we've seen what happens with that. You don't see people switching off of iPhones too quickly. I mean, it took me forever to switch back to Android. And that was very tough, especially since many people were angry with me because text messages. It's always text messages. Like, oh, my videos don't show up well. Whatever. So, if you have a market share that's large, and Xbox is still saying it's like one of the smallest market shares, that's not going to be the way. Right now, they are doing something that Apple did in education. And what Google's trying to do in education is, take a hit on the hardware side and price just to get the person in, get them used to it. That's why I don't see them losing, compatibility with the Xbox One series, because they're still going to want those people to be on Xbox. We're going to see Xbox One, Xbox Series, compatibility for a while, because they don't care about the hardware. They care about Xbox Game Pass. And eventually, and if you notice with Netflix, with Hulu, HBO, all these streaming, they slowly, incrementally just keep raising and raising their price. And then you got to ask yourself, do you actually own it? And that is a huge question, because like I said, the time of filming this video, the PlayStation Network went down. And no one had any access to their games because they couldn't check in. That big thing that people were so angry about when the Xbox One launched, always checking in, we've just accepted it now. They turned it on. No one has really cared. They don't care until it doesn't work. And eventually, if my Series S can't, access the Xbox servers, are any of those games going to work? Are my apps going to work? Because right now my Series S is not the Xbox I play the most. It's my Xbox One, because I do like the disc and it's connected to my streaming. Well, it's a media server now for me that plays video games very well. And what people, especially in the gaming community, do not understand, that they lose sight of, is that a lot of people just want to play the games. It doesn't matter if it needs to be 4K. It doesn't matter the frame rates for them. Does the game work? And that's why the Series S is a little bit more popular than people think. And combined with Game Pass, you know what? It just seems too good to be true right now. And as someone has seen this before, and has already seen it from Microsoft, Microsoft has already done it. They gave away, pretty much they give away Windows now, just so you're in their ecosystem. They take away the ability to pay for Microsoft Office. You have to buy a subscription. Since everyone uses Office, you're kind of stuck. Yes, there are free alternatives, but you're really stuck. Especially because, as a former teacher, I haven't paid for Office in a long time, because they give it away to schools for free. They want you using it. They're willing to take that hit so that all the students, all the teachers, all the colleges are using Office. So they're just following a similar playbook, and it's Xbox Game Pass that's going to hook everybody in. So while I think the service is great, again, right now, and I do love Xbox as a system, and that's not to diss PlayStation. It really isn't. It's just, I've been on Xbox for years, and that should tell you something. I've been on Xbox for years, and I'm just too lazy to switch. Too lazy to cancel subscription. And yeah, that's going to happen to a lot of people. And what people don't understand is there's something that's particularly odd about Xbox Game Pass, because I was looking to sign up again and see what was on it so I can talk about games. I haven't really talked about games or specific computers in a while. I've been kind of doing this right here, talking to the camera about issues. So I went to look, because I have a little bit more money than I typically have, and I was looking to pay for a yearly subscription. Couldn't find it. And that's a red flag for someone like me, that they don't care about the bulk price. They really want those incremental charges all the time. And once they have hooked enough people, they will have control. And right now, like I said, I'm sure someone who watches this is going to argue with me, like, this is so great right now. Yes, it's great right now, especially compared to the competition. But this is showing us the all-digital future, and another way that we are going to lose control over our property. So it's something to think about, especially with Nintendo shutting down eShop, PlayStation Network going down. Xbox is, yes, the best right now, but it's not good for gaming, and it's why I keep trying to get physical copies. So I hope you found this informative. I would love to know your opinion. Please subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to reach 1,000 followers. And if you didn't like it, well, hit dislike, leave me a comment, and then too, I'll talk to you. Unless you say something completely just offhand and stupid, I'll probably talk to you, but it's going to be offhand and stupid. But hey, you reached all the way to the end here. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, everyone.